16-year-old girl dead after being shot.
This is the second time in 2 weeks that police are investigating a stabbing that happened near a Bronx school where the victim was just 14 years old.
Streets of the Bronx in the middle of the night, unforgiving for 4 teenagers stabbed.
Street and demanded his phone. They began punching him. They threw him to the ground and took off with his laptop.
Shot 16 times in the Bronx in gang-related violence.
The 16-year-old girl shot to death.
As police search for the gunman who killed one teen and injured another on
Another 17-year-old boy were also hit in the hail of bullets.
One day I was walking home with my mom, and it was late it wasn't that late, it was like maybe 11, 12 o'clock at night, and we're coming home from a family event, and it was just, you just heard a whole bunch of gunshots, and it was scary, and then all you see is a whole bunch of people running, and it's just like, you don't know what to do, because it's like you're in your neighborhood. Do you run back to the street where anything can happen, or do you run home where it seems like the problem is coming from?
One time I was with my grandmother and my sister and her 1-year-old baby, and we had to run from gunshots. So it was like, I have to make a change because I can't see this having to happen to somebody else that maybe, God forbid, they can get actually hurt.
Violence in the community, it's kind of a scary thing. It happens a lot. It's kind of scary that as much as it happens.
I mean, I don't feel like my community is very safe because like I don't feel like it's safe because like it's very, how do I say it, like it's a lot of drugs and I know like it's a lot of guns because like I see people with them, so like I don't feel safe sometimes when I go outside because, you know, I feel like every moment like my life could be taken.
Anytime people keep saying, oh, they just got shot for no apparent reason or something just killed, it's just that there's some people who need help and there's some people who still need something.
On an everyday basis, the way it makes me feel is just not fear, but worry. It's more of, will I make it home safely? Will my friend make it home safely? And there's times where I even go home and I'm like, all right, cool, I'm home, but when my mom, my sister get home, I'm not gonna stop worrying until they're home fine.
Around the neighborhood, I walk different places, so it's like you hear all the stories, or you watch the news and you see, oh, this happened around your neighborhood, this happened near your school. And then it's like, oh wow, this could happen to anyone, there's somebody I know, and then it's like, well, I don't want that to happen, so let's see how we can stop that from happening.
NYCHA's vision is that our kids grow within the housing authority, have a safe place where there's an environment where they're connected to their community, they take ownership of their community, and they can come and go freely within our developments and grow to be strong, personable individuals.
We were ex-community center workers that now working in a department called resident engagement, and I guess the mayor's office felt it important that we connect with NYCHA residents and specifically our youth to engage them in community leadership programs.
We were all looking for, you know, a way to connect. Young people won't come out unless it's something that they want to do, you know, and as we've heard from the other staff or the other leads, this is stuff that we already are very familiar with, and it's kind of what we'd be doing anyway, working with young people and encouraging them.
We're passionate about what we do. We enjoy youth. We enjoy making a difference. We enjoy making a change. We enjoy also mentoring our youth and listening to their concerns and trying to address their concerns. And with any projects to improve the community that they want to do, we're there for them to support them in that.
I met David, who was walking around trying to find actually young people, and he was looking for a site to work with young people in particular. But also he mentioned about youth council, which we already had a youth council here, but this was definitely specific for NYCHA residents. And we have NYCHA young people, so I was able to coordinate some of the youth that was already a part of our youth council, to gather some of them and then kind of introduce this whole concept to them.
Scary at first, because we had to go out there and recruit kids that we didn't have a relationship with at first.
I mean, clearly in the beginning, there's always going to be, some indifference. Like any one of us, we're always reluctant, to open up when we meet new people.
At the beginning, it was more of, I want to find out what you're offering and what I'm doing. Now it's more of, I look at some of those people as like people that I'm going to have a bond with forever.
So I think that as time went on, they felt more comfortable. Our trust began to develop a lot more, and we were able to see who they really are and really get the message about the changes that they wanted to see in their communities.
Just seeing those little sparks of them believing a little bit more each time that we were who we said we are, and that we're consistent, that we were always going to be there. And when they let their guards down, they were able to accomplish, I think more than they imagined.
Another tool that I was able to learn would have to be just actually creating events and learning more to show how we could make our community a better place.
Being able to see that they can actually do something great when, they felt that a lot of people haven't believed that they were either capable or willing. They've kind of overcame a lot of those challenges.
Well, honestly, when I went home and I saw everybody on the news, I felt proud, and I felt proud of what we've achieved, how far we've gotten. And then it was funny because all through the night my phone was blowing up. Oh my gosh, I saw you on the news, great job, this and that. And it was like, wow, I felt like I've done something great for my community. I've helped out so much.
It was kind of a process of allowing them to see that we really meant what we said, and we were really here to provide them with the support and ear, because sometimes they just need someone to listen to them.
NYCHA, of course, is brick and mortar, and we're a landlord. We provide homes for our residents, but we also have an aspect that we have quite a lot of concerns about, the safety aspect. We want to build and have a community where people are safe, where families can grow, where kids can play.
Some teenagers living in public housing gathered in Brooklyn today to show that there's no age requirement for shaping the world around them.
The New York City Housing Authority launched 10 youth leadership councils around the city late last year. Before long, hundreds of teens signed up, jumping at a chance to give back and be heard.
It makes me feel good about myself, to make me feel like I'm not the only person trying to make a difference in my community or anywhere.
Welcome to the Youth Leadership Council Summit. You were tasked with planning and executing community service projects throughout the year in partnership with NYC Service, and I want to thank my partners in government from NYC Service who are here. At today's summit, you'll recap all of the different events and ideas that helped determine your local priorities. And not surprisingly, many of you focused on issues of safety. Personal safety, neighborhood safety. In fact, 5 out of the 9 youth leadership councils focused on violence prevention and awareness. I also saw and was able to participate in Earth Day celebrations, other opportunities that sought to advocate for changes in local laws, collaborating with neighborhood police, and you all have found ways in which to make change, and we should not underestimate the power of a small group of dedicated people.
The first housing projects were developed back in the 1930s as part of an effort to clear out the slums. Not the slums like we know them today, but the tenement buildings that were built for immigrants back in the 1800s. The neighborhoods that were plagued by poverty, rampant with disease, ridden with crime. The law called for modern, safe, sufficient housing that would be and remain affordable for even the poorest people in the city. This solution was subsidized public housing. So the slums would be torn down. Basically, the projects were built to replace the slums.
Yeah, we just came from the Bronx. Yeah. We took the 5 train? The 2? Okay, we took the 2 train. The one that came first. So we want to thank everyone for coming. This is looking beautiful. I'm feeling the vibes. They got my back. You see this? Give them a round of applause. They make me feel safe. I remember I'm just reflecting this morning on my way down. And I thought about, September 2016 when we first started this. It was not that long ago. And I thought about how myself, my colleague Carmen, and Miss Williams, Alina, Carmen is running the slide. How we walked around the South Bronx wondering how we were going to get young people involved in our NYCHA Youth Leadership Council. So we just walking around, you want to be involved? You want to be involved? Nobody wanted to. They asked us, I remember one of them telling me, if I join the council, what are you going to give me? I was like, what? That was you, right? But check this out. I was like, this is not about what we're going to give you. It's about what we're going to build together. You feel me? So that's what you're all doing here today. So give yourselves a round of applause. Because we registered about 39, 40 youth, and they're still here. So if you're in the audience today, give yourself a round of applause. So without further ado, I present the South Bronx Youth Leadership Council.
South Bronx Youth Leadership Council is a leadership development program comprised of youth ages 14 to 21. The South Bronx YLC provides youth with a platform to use their voice to become ambassadors of positive change.
Voices can be heard, and now this is that we're actually doing something operations. Our voices are finally being heard as teenagers.
And this is our Green Day event. It was the first annual event where we got youth from all over the city to engage residents to celebrate community unity. So this event will be part of an ongoing youth anti-violence campaign. It promotes education as a tool for success.
The core of this event is actually non-violence. They're advocating basically to get the word out, talk about how we can build a safer, cleaner community.
Youth in different South Bronx NYCHA developments coming together for Green Day. It's a day to clean up where they live in hopes of driving out crime.
Not just about cleaning up, it is about stopping violence across the borough. The Green Day event put on by the NYCHA Youth Leadership Council, an organization made up of 14 to 21-year-olds who live in public housing and want to change the environment around them by planting gardens, clearing trash, and coming together.
We are hosting an event to basically get the community to be one and actually share things we have in common and make a connection.
This was a South Bronx community-wide event. Mott Haven, Patterson, St. Mary's, Brook Avenue, all a part of Green Day.
They thought that it would be great for our youth to kind of advocate, to start connecting with adults and seniors, to kind of bring folks together to kind of celebrate that positivity.
initially parents were wondering who we are, what we're all about, whether or not it's something they even want their child to be involved in. And as time progressed and they see, we brought in a bunch of facilitators to provide, workshops for the youth. We've brought in different incentives that we were able to engage the youth. Parents were a lot more open to have them be a part of the process and part of our youth council.
There's always going to be initial skepticism.
I think in the beginning, parents really didn't know what we had to offer their children. As time went on, they saw that their children were more involved, more creative, wanted to be part of a change. And as a result of that, the parents also wanted to be part of that change as well. And they also encouraged their children to participate.
It's kind of encouraging to see that perhaps they saw a change in their child that made them kind of want to also connect. So it's, again, same theme, building the community.
Anytime you can have youth with some sort of civic independence that they realize is you have to give to the community. You have to work within the community to make it a better and safe environment for themselves. It's not all about playing basketball or video games or watching TV. They take civic pride in their community. They want to make it a better community, and they take ownership within their community. So anytime you have youth at that age that are willing to make that type of sacrifice that other kids would not work, you have to take your interest and support them and push them forward.
There's not enough funding out there for various projects that we would like to do with the youth. As I mentioned, our youth are very creative. They like to be involved in the community, and they like to see change. And with change, you need to have funding for those things.
I don't think there will ever be enough money to fund what we actually do. The center is open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And that's 12-hour days and possibly more, 6 days of the week during the school year, 7 days a week in the summer. So no, I don't think we have enough money to fund what it is that we're doing. However, I do think there can always be more, that's for sure. But I do believe we can work with what it is that we have and still try and find some type of quality in what is provided to our young people.
Initially, I think we were kind of caught up trying to figure out how we can, get money, where can we get the funding from, how can we even make this thing work. And I think what was amazing to see was that we were able to get folks to dedicate their time, their valuable resource in a skill set that they brought to actually make the youth council work. So I think that was an amazing part of the process.
Some of our partners, as you mentioned, are our parents. Our parents are one of our partners. The Resident Association, they really support us. I would say the community center director, as well as the community. They all support what we do.
We work with our youth and we work with our partners and different agencies to make sure that our youth have a fair share in what's going on. Realize that the youth are the future of this city.
A lot of our partners had the same agenda we did. They're servicing the same, demographic that we are. So we had mutual interests, and it only took us being able to ask, are you willing to partner with us to provide resources to our young people? So for Green Day, like I said, we had over 29 partners that came on board to provide us with everything from healthcare services to educational services. So yeah, I think it's being able to work through faith, believing that you can actually create something amazing with really no resources or no funding. So I think that was an important thing to show our youth that it's not just about money, it's about time.
We have various partners from different organizations and companies, but I kind of want to go back to the members of the community themselves. So whether it's the grandmas and the aunties or the business owners and the bodegas, I feel like it's very impactful and powerful that they're starting to have an opportunity to see the youth from their community in a different light. So as a result, from Green Day, they may recognize them from seeing them participate in that event, and there may be a little bit of a different reaction, whereas you would see a group of young people, maybe it's an older person, and they're a little bit they want to stay away from them, they don't necessarily feel safe, but if they recognize this group of young people as the people that helped put plants in the community and clean up and did that nice family-friendly event, then they'll be more likely to say hi and look out for them, and the other way around. So it's all about building those relationships, and I feel like those are the most powerful, resourceful partnerships that we could have made. We're grateful for the connections with the companies and all of that, but I feel like this is the one that might be a long-lasting, connection.
We were able to achieve something that everybody who at the beginning of the program was doubting us about.
Some people keep thinking some people from the Bronx are nothing sometimes, or we can't make it to something like that.
They never thought that we could have a Green Day event. They never thought that they could actually get a group of kids to come every other Monday for a meeting to talk about issues in the community. They didn't think that could happen, but anything's possible,
I mean, anything can be done, especially if you're a community. Anything is possible at this point.
How do you create something from nothing? And I think that we were able to do that together.
Every young person was definitely responded in a positive way when we had someone representing an area of that connected with their concern of violence in the community or safety in the community. So when we brought in facilitators, they were open, just as open as they were to us as the leads of the council. They were open to what they had to offer, and they always offered something in return. I was again impressed with how they kind of asked questions to NYPD and kind of caught them off guard, and and impressed the lawyers from NYCHA's law department.
David, Alina, and Carmen have been doing an awesome job in getting young people together, organized, and I appreciate that there's a core group of people that are committed and continues to be that consistent group of people that young people can look to, because they like consistency. So I think that is important.
What I want them to accomplish is, once again, that feeling of ownership, that this is their community, and what happens in their community, they can make a difference in a positive way. We like to connect that not just with the South Bronx, but the East Bronx, the North Bronx. Let's come on into Manhattan, let's go over into Queens. All of it should be connected together, that they can make a difference if they try. They can make a difference and be those who set the example and lead the way for the youth that come behind them.
Basically, the program was able to give me an insight on how NYCHA feels and what NYCHA is doing.
I just want to make some changes to the person understand how life is going. I don't want them to see the bad, I just want them to see the good.
What I see myself doing is actually taking action more, speaking my mind, actually going out and finding resources.
And it's like now that it's helping, it's like I'm not getting bullied anymore, and I'm helping or trying to show other kids that you can use your voice instead of using violence to help.
I feel like it gives me leadership skills. It kind of teaches me how to be a leader. And it gives me it lets me know that if I actually do want something, that it's possible, if I want to see change, that it's possible, that my voice counts, yeah.
This group has influenced my school life to do better, because I know that I can get really good scholarships and stuff with this knowledge.
It's helped me grow as a person, showing me responsibility, respect, and how to help others, how to more so help others.
I know life in the Bronx is hard, but it's you need to be smart what you really want here.
Because in everybody else's eyes, it's, well, New York City Housing Authority, they don't do anything. They just watch us struggle every day and they don't help us. But at the same time, it's really they're trying to help us. It's just all about everybody communicating. And that's just what it's all about, communicating and getting everybody in.
Because we deserve to have a voice too. So it shouldn't just be adults. We should be able to help ourselves and others as well.
Favorite part of the program and everyone helping like some people and helping the ones really want to change, really want to fix their mistakes or fix everything and make a second chance.
Being there with everybody and sharing our thoughts, our ideas, anything together, because together we can make something happen.
My favorite part of the program is being able to come and actually discuss the problems that we have in our community and find ways that it can be fixed. And instead of just talking about the problems, actually going out and fixing the problems. Because there's one thing to think of something and then to another to actually take action. And I think that's what the good thing about the Youth Leadership Council is.
Give it up for resident engagement. A special thank you to Alina Williams. Where you at? Carmen Roman. Where you at? These women have worked for the past, 5 months we've been working on this. Catherine, where are you?